literally like, you just lose it. You just completely lose it, and it's horrible. It's a horrible place to be in.
And it's this fussiness of like pulling off and on because she's obviously not latching properly. I've literally just started putting a podcast on. I think I can hear her crying.
Mental health, it's like they think you're going to catch it. The amount of people I was friends with when I was younger, and I told them, and they were really close to me, and they suddenly backed off me like...
She's definitely given up breastfeeding, so I was going to do this whole chat about tandem feeding, when actually...
Like, well, hold on a minute, this is really hard. I don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Especially when I was really young.
2 days ago, she bit me when she was cuddles. It is another week to thrive and survive. I don't even know what I look like right now. I got loads to tell you about. I wanted to document this video as like a breastfeeding journey and my journey through breastfeeding so far. It's day 12 currently, and I wanted to show you kind of what we're going through at the moment, because there's lots of different things that come into the equation with breastfeeding. But I'm gonna get in a bath because I'm so excited. It's the first time I've actually had a bath since I bathed in the bath when I was in labour, but I thought it was early labour, but it wasn't. So yes, Spencer's gone to Asda to get our food shop. We've got lots of different books that we're going through, that he's been going through. I'm just about to have my porridge. I need to show you my porridge because wow. And baby girl Aureovella's asleep upstairs. Renalia's at nursery. Grandad took her this morning because he's a legend, and I was feeding Aureovella. Spencer had gone to Asda. So yeah, brilliant. Look at this porridge. I literally have left it for so long. It looks like ready break. I love my porridge like that. Oh, we're steaming up. We're steaming up. This has been going through this one, the Little Dish Family Cookbook. He also went through this one. He's going to make this. This is actually amazing because it's how to grow your family from pregnancy to new parents. This section is actually for breastfeeding and after birth. So very excited for this, let me tell you. And also, of course, my favourite person ever, Charlotte Sterling Reed. This we've been going through. So Spencer's written down defrost meats. We're gonna have a tray bake, smoked haddock, chicken, tray bake and halloumi, salmon curry, chili and bacon, brown rice, and bangers and mash. I love the fact we got this because it actually does help. It really does. Lunches, breakfasts are normally all the same, so brilliant. Probably going to be eating my porridge in the bath because that's fine. This is amazing, by the way. It's the Whole Earth Drizzler chocolate peanut butter. Oh, it comes out not so drizzly because you have to really shake it. Also, I'm going to put some of these in. Yum and Yape. They're really, really nice, and they help me go to the toilet because, wow, constipation's real. Yes, no, I might actually have to start taking a stool softener. Is that my phone? Yes, it is. Because, wow, the first like couple of poos, sorry if there's too much information, but we're all best friends here. The first couple of number 2s after giving birth were amazing because I don't know why, but they were, and I was really scared about them because, wow, the thought of pushing is disgusting. But now, don't know what's happened, Hans. Smell of lavender. Oh, it's a bit cold. It's so nice to be able to have a hot bath, because when you're pregnant you have to have it like a certain amount or whatever. Spencer's just messaging me. Big milk. Right, we've got the porridge of goods. Lovely. So, baby girl's currently sleeping. Do you know what's so funny? When you have your first child, you're like, shh, don't make any noise. And I really thought Renee was so susceptible to noise, and now she really is still. Everyone said they grow out of it when they're like toddlers, but I don't see her growing out of it. Like the lightest sound, she's like, sits up in her bed. But with Aureovella, we literally have no choice because Renalia will be making noise, we might be dancing, there's just noise in general, and I feel like she's happy. She is just happy and content to just be asleep during all noise, which is just brilliant for me. But I feel like we use these days when she's at nursery, when Renalia's at nursery, to get like work bits done, admin, clean the house, because it's just, it gets on top of you with a toddler and a baby. What was I going to say? Yeah, like film TikToks, be able to film YouTube content, but then I also want to film YouTube content that isn't mum related, so I need you guys, sorry, so rude. I need you guys to tell me what content you want to see that isn't mum related as well, because obviously I have such a different range of audience on this channel because I've always done such a different range of videos, like I never have one set niche. So if you guys that are mums want to see the content, obviously I'm going to continue this journey, so please definitely subscribe and watch my journey. There's going to be the highs, the lows. I want to be completely honest in this motherhood journey. It won't be me moaning, it will just be me showing you the reality of what goes on and where we're at, and showing the joys of motherhood. But also let me know what content you want to see that isn't mum related. I'll obviously be doing more I'll obviously be doing more like vlog lifestyle content. so that there's motherhood in there, but also shopping videos, you know, general just life. So holiday bits, etc. So I'm very excited. Also, I'm my best friend's bridesmaid next year, and I was thinking of doing like a bridesmaid series. Or would that be a really show? Probably. But yeah, let me know what you want to see. I'm gonna have my bath and then we'll chat. I've literally just started putting a podcast on. I think I can hear her crying. Or is it the fake cries in my head? I can hear her trying to chew. She obviously wants milk. See you later porridge, see you later bath. Do you know what is so crazy? I just have to quickly update you. Like, I honestly have the exact same, about breastfeeding, I've honestly had such a similar journey to you, don't I?
Yeah.
Mum's
absolutely.
given me her milk, without a doubt. Like, earlier I was talking to someone in the doctor's surgery and she was telling me about how with mastitis you could use like cabbage, and I was like, oh my God, that is what you used to tell me, isn't it?
Oh yeah, cabbage, because
Yeah.
I think it's actually the toxins in the leaves or something that give off. And
Mum's an absolute...
did you get cabbage?
They used to call you dairy, Dee's dairy, didn't they?
Dee's dairy.
Dee's
Yeah, my
dairy.
milk was so... And then someone used to call it a gold top when we had the
Yeah.
gold top milk.
Yeah. Someone messaged me the other day, like, what are you feeding Oriavella? Is it steaks? Because she's getting so chunky. Did Grandma breastfeed you?
No.
She'll laugh at that. She knows she didn't. I went to the osteo yesterday. Did you ever go? No, did you ever have osteos back then?
No, we did, but I think it was so expensive. But I do know people who did take their child to it, but we can afford it.
This is the thing I keep saying to my osteo. I've only been 3 times with Oriavella, but I honestly think that it would be so amazing if they could have an NHS osteo, because so many kids come out. Obviously, the babies have all been... You think about it, Mum, they're all squashed in there anyway.
No, and they don't get checked.
No.
None of their heads get checked.
No.
I mean, Jacob was pulled out by volunteers. So, you know, that's...
He could have done with an osteo.
Yeah, probably, because I bet it caused him probably headaches and things when he was a baby, or, you know, sort of puts the heads out of shape.
Yeah.
So, could have caused him a
Does
lot
it take a while
of
for...
pain.
Yeah, because in America, don't they wear the big hats?
Well, yeah, but we don't here.
No, we don't.
I know.
I think, even though obviously lots of people don't want to breastfeed, I completely understand that, but I do think it would help women who want to continue their breastfeed journey, it would help them more continue it, because lots of people are saying that tongue ties are related to the body work. Like my osteo was saying that lots of babies and toddlers need body work now. So like past the age of 1, when a tongue tie isn't something a tongue tie specialist can look at, you go to an osteo for body work to have that tension in your neck released externally.
Yeah.
But I think a lot of women give up because it might be hurting. Like honestly, since going to Sian, she's helped Oriavella help me so much on my right. Like she's not the best with latching on the right, opening wide, but now she showed me, because she's also a feeding specialist, she has helped me know how to lift her. And I think if we had that extra care, so many women wouldn't have to give it up.
But
not
it's
that,
money and resources
I
again,
know,
isn't it?
it's
There's
so
so many
sad.
cutbacks. They cut back
I
and they give money in
know.
one area and not in another area.
Yeah.
And maternity and any sort of postpartum is terrible.
I know, we were just talking about it.
I remember coming out of hospital and having, I can't remember which one of you it was, and thinking, being in the, I think it was both times, back in when I had you and Jacob, and even Hugo, and thinking, God, you give me so much attention when I'm giving birth and all this and up to them. And then you put them in you go on this ward and they treat you like, well, go on, you get on with it now. And it's like, it's so sad.
Yeah.
It's like, well, hold on a minute, this is
Yeah.
really hard. I don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Especially when I was really young and I had
Yeah.
Jacob. And it's like, I know it may be resources and whatever, but
there should be more postpartum care.
there should be more postpartum care, because that's
Because
when
that's
women
when-
feel they're most vulnerable and
Yeah.
they're suddenly forgotten about.
Your hormones drop by 100%.
And I
It's the
remember
biggest
saying
hormone
about
drop.
depression to a health visitor once. I said, none of you check me for postnatal depression. And they said, oh, well, the way the government does it is that they'll only give it to certain people in certain categories.
You did suffer with postnatal depression, didn't you?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
So, but people just don't look at you.
Did it
'cause
make
they
you
think,
feel? Did it make you feel so low, like
yeah,
crazy low?
Yeah, just literally like you just
Yeah.
lose it. You just
Yeah.
completely lose it, and it's horrible. It's a horrible place to be in.
Like a
it's
chemical
depression.
imbalance.
Yeah, it's a chemical.
Yeah.
It's the hormones.
Yeah.
And people just treat you like, well, you should just pull yourself together, get on with it, because it's very much a situation then when I was younger of, you know, mental health. Sorry, just pull yourself together. It's like now obviously there's a lot more on it, although there's no money spent in it still. It's a little bit of a like we talk about it.
Oh,
but we
because
don't
when I
spend
was
any money on
pregnant,
it.
they have to know if anyone in the family has suffered with postnatal depression. So I said that, and then they were like, "Oh, we'll monitor you closely." No one's ever checked in or said anything. And I'm not blaming the NHS, by the way, and I'm not sitting on my high horse going, "Oh, the NHS is so bad." I'm saying I wish they had more resources for these people to be able to offer that, because after speaking to health visitors and midwives, they agree. They're like, yeah, women need more help. I think I live in a nice an easier generation than you, probably, because people are so much more spoken out about things now. People speak out more, and a lot more people are finding it, you know, we're open, but I do still think there needs to be more support postpartum, because especially with like just anything, breastfeeding, bottle feeding.
And I remember a friend of mine, actually a close friend at the time, she was like, about postnatal depression. She was like, one of her friends got depression, and she was like, and I felt really bad because like, I'd had it, and she sort of said, well, this particular person should never get it, not her. I was like, what? Why? And she was like, well, she's always this, she's always that. And always you think, well, so I'm different.
So it's about how much, what money and lifestyle you live. You can't get to.
Well, people just judge you and say
I don't
that.
think that's right.
And you know, I used to get things like
anyone can. It's not sexist. It's not ageist. It's not anything. Depression.
No, it affects
mental health.
More women than men. I don't know. More men are probably quieter about it because it's not been accepted in society so much. But I think more, you know, and obviously gender neutral people as well. Everyone is like, whatever you come from, whatever background, whatever, it's an illness. It's like any other illness. And you know, when you break a leg, I used to say to people, if you break a leg, go, oh my god, look at you, you've got a bandage on your leg, you've got like a plaster cast. As soon as you've got depression or any sort of depression or mental health, it's like they think you're going to catch it. The amount of people I was friends with when I was younger, and I told them, and they were really close to me, and they suddenly backed off me like I was a nutter. I was like,
that's so sad.
It is. You suddenly see what people are like.
Who's actually
there. Stronger though if you survive it and come through, which most people do, with the right support and the right, you know, talking to people and the right help. Most people come through it, and it's just a blip.
I do think there is help if you ask for it.
Yeah.
So I think the thing with postpartum is you want people to check in on you sometimes, but I actually think, like I said to my friend was struggling with breastfeeding and she really wanted to continue it. I'm obviously not going to push that onto her. She was really, really struggling with it. And I said, reach out to your local council, reach out to your health visitor. And she's got so much support. She's got such a lovely borough where she is. Oh, she's got so much lovely support.
It is a postcode lottery.
Yeah.
It's very much.
She's got such a lovely borough. Her breastfeeding, like the cafes that she gets to go to, the support that she gets is so much better than here. But actually, you can ask for it. So make sure that if you are struggling with anything, that you do reach out to even if you feel like, oh, I shouldn't be feeling like this, you're allowed, you're entitled. I always say that. Lately, I've been saying to myself, my feelings are valid. Even if they're crazy. Even if they're crazy, they're valid. Doesn't mean that they're right.
Or wrong, whatever.
But they are valid. You're allowed to feel however you feel, you know?
I think that's the thing. I think if everyone was allowed to have their feelings valid, then I think people would feel that it's okay to talk about those things that we don't want to talk about because we're scared, because they're horrible thoughts, or you know, like what you talked about the other day, when people get sort of intrusive thoughts. Yeah, and people do get them, but as soon as you
definitely get them after birth. I do.
Yeah, I think as soon as you think, oh my god, that means I'm bad, people just clam down, but they don't understand how the brain works and how it's.
Jacob said a good thing to me. He said, the intrusive thoughts that anyone does get, think about all the thoughts that you don't even know you're thinking. So what would I look like if I was a cow? Like crazy, like thoughts that you would never think. But think about the thoughts that is the sky actually blue?
She said she gets these funny thoughts, and she said I get these thoughts where it's and she'd say, I think that we'll be sitting there and I'll be like, why are you laughing? And she'd go, I just imagine the ceiling falling down.
Yeah, like we think things all the time.
And it's crazy. Yeah. And you just go, that is so funny. But it's just so bizarre. But
it's like the lady being a fulfillment centre.
Yeah. She said someone in the fulfillment centre, I imagined this person was the fulfillment centre, doing the little boxes.
We're at a rush now. Renelia's going to come back from nursery in a minute, so I'm going to start talking to you and then we'll start cooking dinner. We have a really early dinner. We eat at like 4:30 because it's just, I don't know why. It's when Renelia goes to bed, it's an easier time to have it. She gets really hungry when she comes back from nursery. So yes, this is what I was going to show you. Basically, when you're younger, your parents make dinners and you're just like, oh, sweet. Like you just come up with these new dinners every night. Being a parent that works from home, being a parent in general, how does anyone have time to make all these amazing meals? I take my hats off to you guys if that is your thing. Up the road, oh my god, he literally will cook for like an hour and a half. I don't know where they find the time with 2 children. I actually got these for up the road because they've let us use their laptop today. I bought them for them. We're gonna have HelloFresh. They've started a super quick menu. This whole meal takes 15 minutes. So tonight we're having, Matthew, Thai-inspired pork and noodle stir fry with carrot and sugar snaps. Honestly, genuinely, HelloFresh is life for us. If you can buy anything for anyone postpartum, get them HelloFresh, and you can actually get my discount code. I'm just going to whack that one in there. So if you use the code, sorry I'm saying this, but I've got to tell you because it's good to share. Imogen60HF, you get 60% off your first box and then 25% off your next 8. But still, just get the 60% off your first box, Hans, and you will love it. Even if you get it for someone, honestly, the best thing that anyone got me postpartum was meals. People bought me HelloFresh boxes, honestly, sending that to your door, because genuinely, I just don't know how anyone has the time. I take my hats off to you and you're amazing. But it's just so good to have healthy, nutritious meals that Renalia eats, the whole family can eat, with good portion sizes, comes directly delivered to your door. It takes 15 minutes to cook. 15 minutes. It means I can spend more time with my babies. Also with breastfeeding, I get so hungry, and it means that sometimes I'm like, I need dinner now, because I'm like, my mouth's like so dry, and I get hungry, that we can just whack them there. We can whack them. Sweet. Love it. Love is just cooking up a storm in here, and I'm absolutely buzzing for it. I've just had a 10-minute bath with Renalia. I've actually managed to put a hair mask in my hair, and now the dinner's ready. A lovely quick bath, and I'm come down to Din Din's. What an amazing man he is, ladies and gently, Hans. Let's have a round of applause for my husband, Spencer Horton.
HelloFresh taste test.
Here we go then.
They do the recipes, I do the cooking.
She wants more. She wants more milk. Oh, wow. What was that noise? Hummus?
Yeah.
That is unreal. Oh my god, the munch too. Is that munch too? Sugar snaps?
Sugar snaps, yeah.
Oh, wow.
A little bit of carrot in there, girl.
That is so nice.
Have you seen the dark?
Here you go,
These are so good, so we haven't got time for cooking at the minute. So
Do you want some?
Give her a carrot.
Do you want some?
So out of 10, what are you saying?
I'm saying this is unbelievable.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
But unbelievable Jeff or just unbelievable? Yeah.
HelloFresh.
I know. Love it.
Sorry, I can't even talk. I'm eating and enjoying it so much. Definitely go and check out the link in my description.
Yeah.
Sign up. Love your life. Use
your
my
boxes.
discount code. Go for it.
Yeah, you know it. Get on it.
Go.
Go on, girls.
Mariabella's come to say hello. Oh, she wants to say hello to her mummy. Okay. Okay, sweet girl. We were going to say hello to everyone up here. We were. We're 2 weeks old today. Mummy gave birth to you 14 days ago. 14. 14. Can you believe it? You're perfect, just like your sister. Oh, my lamb chop. Is that a bit low? That's a bit low, isn't it? Tell Mummy, do you want more milk? So I'm just going to give you a little update on my breastfeeding journey. So she latched really quickly, just like Renalia did. And I think after birth you feel no pain on anywhere at very beginning, because you're just so in this euphoric moment of delivering this beautiful creation. The midwives and everyone were like, oh my God, she's got such a good latch. And I was like, yeah, she really has. She was checked day 3, day 5. She's been checked by another lady, osteo Sharon, so we took her to the osteo. And they said she hasn't got tongue tie, which is a really positive thing. But she has got the same difficulty as Renalia. I'm just going to latch her quickly, and then I will come back to you. Right, so basically, that is probably a really horrible angle, but hello. So basically, Renalia had the same problem feeding on my right, because where they were in the womb, obviously, they've cricked their neck, so it's more tense. So, like, at the moment, Oriavella's lifting her shoulder up like that, and I have to kind of try and massage it down because she's got tension. But we are taking her to the osteo because it helps to release that neck, because she really struggles to go like this on the right. So on the left, she'll tip her head back and she'll come onto the boob. On the right, she just goes really, really shallow. And it was coming out lipstick shaped, and it was hurting me. Oh, I really need some water. Oh, Spencer's outside. I can't be bothered to get up. It's fine. So yes, so it was coming out lipstick shake and it was hurting me. And then I spoke to Gentle Births and Beyond, Carmel, who was the lady who really helped me in my feeding and really helped me with Renalia's tongue tie and has supported Renalia ever since. And she gave me some tips over Zoom. She offered to come down, but we could go to London, but it's a bit of a mish to travel with the newborn. See, she's like unlatching, which then traps air, which is then why she's getting so uncomfortable. But basically, I've never had a grunty baby. Renalia was never grunty. Renalia had like silent reflux and reflux, but she never had this grunt that Oriavella's got. Oriavella literally grunts all night. She's not awake, but she's just grunting. And I don't know if anyone else has had that, but apparently it's really normal. It's their digestive system that's so premature and so immature that it has to develop. Okay, are you going for another poo? Are you? been told to make it a bit burger shaped, the nipple, so she can get a bit more in and push her chin down. But overall, this feeding experience has been way easier, potentially because Renalia's still feeding. We'll talk about that later with the tandem feeding. But maybe because my milk was somewhat established. My milk still came in on day 3 and day 4, and that was absolute hell, as I probably documented in the first week of life with a newborn. But for me now, it's way easier. I haven't really been that engorged. I get a bit engorged if she has a longer sleep overnight. You know, she'll do a bigger stint. Yeah, I will get a bit more engorged if she doesn't feed for like 3 hours, which I'll wake her up then for. But if she's cluster fed all night and then she does like a 4-hour stint, I won't wake her up because she's cluster fed all night. But yes, we're still going through this process because there's a breastfeeding clinic on Monday through the NHS, which I'm going to go to, which I'll let you know about. But basically they run these clinics, these like cafes, and you go and you get help from a lactation consultant at the cafe. So because I really want to be able to do the lying down pose. I really want to be able to just get her to latch without it being like this, like she's unlatching now. No, she's not even latched. See you later. I just don't want it to hurt on my right, and I also want her to be helped because she's trapping wind, which is obviously making her uncomfortable, and she's really like lifting her legs up. So she's very, very grunty, bless her. And I want her to not be in pain as well as me not be in pain. But it's funny, isn't it? It's never straightforward, but it's worth it, and it's amazing because this is incredible to be able to do this a second time. Who knows how long she'll feed for? Probably not as long as her sister. Do you think you might? Do you think you might? You probably will want to, won't you? She's a fiend. So on day 12, she was weighed. So she was born 7.275, 7 pounds 275 ounces, and she's now 8 pounds 7. So that's incredible on day 12. In 12 days, she's gained, what, a pound and 5 ounces? Pound and 4.5. See? And it's this fussiness of like pulling off and on because she's obviously not latching properly. But again, no. Okay, sweetheart. Okay, what do you think about it? She doesn't know if she wants it or not. She probably should be asleep. Should Mummy get you in the sling and we go for a little sleep? Should Mummy get you in the sling and we go for a little sleep? So yeah, I'll keep you updated. I want to start expressing so that Spencer can have 1 bottle a night and help me, so that, you know, we're sharing the load of the nights, because obviously we're at home together, so it would be ideal to share the loads, because I've got to go back to work. Mummy's got to go back to work. You're going to go to sleep while Mummy speaks to her friends. Yeah? You don't know these people yet, but you're going to love them. But she's doing well. I'm really glad she doesn't have a tongue tie, but we're going to go back to the osteo in a couple of days. So I'll keep you updated with that. I might potentially try and film a little bit of it so you can see what goes on. It's just really frustrating, especially in the night. I don't know if anyone else, if they were breastfeeding or have breastfed or anything like that. In the nighttime, they're so tired that their latch is just not the same either. They're like, because you're so sleepy. You're so sleepy. Yes. Smile at dog. So much. It is bizarre to me how you can love something again the exact same way you loved your first. Like, it's bizarre. Everyone says like your heart will just expand. It won't half. It literally doubles. It doubles. Yes. I can't wait to see what you're like as a person. You might have your daddy's personality and you'll be perfect. Who do you think she looks like? Dips with the breastfeeding journey. But I feel like that's really honest. Like, I think people think, like, when I was a bit naive to it when I first had Renalia. I was just saying, I hope she latches. But actually, there's so many different variables. But once you get through it, it is incredible. And if you can't breastfeed, or if you don't want to breastfeed, then don't worry about it. There's no bloody pressure. You do whatever works for you and your baby. I'm just documenting my journey to show you the ups and downs because, yeah, last night I had to wake Spencer up because I was like, her hands were getting in the way. She really wasn't latching on the right, but I was very, very full on the right, wasn't I? And then the milk comes out quite fast. I have still got a heavy flow and a fast sort of let down. So sometimes she does choke on it. But we have those evenings where she's just going off and on, off and on. I'm like, okay, hon, we're just trapping air. We've got wind there for you. And then some people say like breastfed babies shouldn't have wind because there's no wind in breast milk. But surely if you've got a heavy flow and a fast let down and things, there's all different variables to it. Yeah. Auntie Amber gave you this outfit from her babies. She did. So tandem feeding, I'll get onto that later because that's a whole other story. That is a whole other story. Spencer's mum, dad and stepmom got these flowers. Okay, they're on the way out now. But these flowers have literally lasted for like, what are they? They came day 4.
Yeah.
16 days.
Yeah.
That's unbelievable from Sanos.
Go on, Trey.
Oh my goodness. So Renelia gave up breastfeeding and now, honestly, I'm in so much pain. Orivella's not being able to clear these ducts and they're so fucking painful. Honestly, they're so swollen and painful. So obviously I've got so much supply now because I've been feeding 2 and now she's just completely switched it off. Ow. Oh, they hurt so much. I've got some cold compresses and some warm compresses on it and I'll probably do an Epsom salt bath, but it's around the side and I think I'm gonna have to wear a bra tonight to bed. I was gonna put on makeup because I wanted to do some filming bits, like some TikToks and stuff, but I've come out with this, like, I don't know whether it's postpartum. Here, can you see it? Like, it's all over my neck as well. My face is really itchy, like my lips are itchy. This is all blotchy. Can you see like spots and stuff? It's really itchy. So I don't want to put on any makeup because obviously I've not changed anything that I'm using, but maybe it's postpartum, I don't know, or maybe it's an allergic reaction to something. So now I'm like, I need to go through everything and start getting rid of all my skincare, but I've only been putting new skincare on my face lately, like as in like brand new bottles that I use all the time and I used throughout pregnancy, so I'm a bit confused. She's definitely given up breastfeeding, so I was going to do this whole chat about tandem feeding when actually I think that's it now. And I feel my emotions are all over the place anyway postpartum. As much as tandem feeding was so, it was hard, it was draining, it was magical. Okay, I'm going to sit you down because I'm probably going to end up crying. Where can I sit you down? Actually a perfect height, you're on the soft plate. I'm currently, by the way, but vacuum bagging all the clothes that I was wearing during pregnancy because I feel as though then I can vacuum bag them, then I can actually make space for clothes that I, you know, maybe fit back into. Because honestly, that is what I struggle with postpartum, but we'll talk about that after we talk about tandem feeding. So, tandem feeding, wow, it's a lot. Basically, Renelia obviously was not with me for 2 days during the labour, and then we kind of just assumed she would have kind of given it up. And when she came back, she saw baby latching. She wasn't interested in the slightest. So we were all like, okay, she's given it up. It was natural progression. She was only feeding once a day anyway. So I was like, it's only one feed that she's given up a day. Then, second day, baby was 3 days old. This is second day of Renelia being home. That was it. She was like, let me feed. I want milk. It was literally like that. When I mean, at one point, I thought Renelia was feeding more than the baby because Renelia would just jump on constantly. And I didn't want to reject her because I felt as though then I'm being like, oh, baby's here, like you can't have it, but baby can. You know what I mean? I didn't want her to have that element of jealousy, but she never has had any inch of jealousy with her sister. Like, she looks at Oriavella and she just loves her so much. It's the way she is so gentle, the way she looks in her face and she's like, it is magical. But what we would try and do is like distract her with things. And the midwife came round on day 5 to weigh Oriavella. I was like, oh, she keeps, you know, she's feeding as well. And she was like, okay, well, and I said, we're offering her snacks. Like, we'll say to her, like, do you want something to eat? If you're hungry, like, do you want something to eat? And the midwife was like, oh, let's not start another bad habit. She was a really nice midwife, but I really didn't like that comment because I was like, A, breastfeeding isn't a bad habit. B, eating isn't a bad habit. And C, I shouldn't even think that eating is a bad habit for my toddler. Do you know what I mean? Anyway, I know she didn't mean it in any way, shape or form because she was an amazing midwife. I just found it a bit like, she was like, let's distract her with the TV. I was like, wait, what? Isn't that another bad habit or something? Do you know what I mean? You know, and you're like, we would distract her. Like, let's say she tried to feed like 10 times in the day. She'd probably feed like 6, 4 times we'd be able to distract her. Anyway, she was absolutely on it. Like, I need to feed. And it was as much magical as also like draining because you're having to hold the baby. Renelia can latch herself, but you've got to get the baby on first. The baby has to have the fuller boob. Renelia will have the boob that the baby's drained because baby is priority. So Oriavella needs that milk. Renelia just wants the milk. Oriavella needs it to grow and thrive. Renelia also has solids and her milk anyway. And I was like, I'm just going to see this out. I know Renelia will end up... Apparently, it's really normal when you first start tandem feeding that a toddler is like, wow, the supply is amazing, this milk. She was literally loving it. She was guzzling on it, drinking a long time. So yes, so that was intense and I was quite tired with it. but it was also just so magical, and I just had to make sure I was drinking loads more water than I even need to be, and eating a lot more. I think you need like 500 1,000 calories more when you're tandem feeding than you would be if you're just breastfeeding. Yeah, Renelia would like stroke her sister's head while she's feeding. She'd hold her hand, and I was like, wow, this is amazing. But also I was like, my tits don't feel like my own. I'm just a cow at this point. But then also at that point, I just was like, the good way outweighed, like if I'm feeling it. That for me, that's how it was. So it was a bit draining, but then also I was like, oh God, I'm itching, by the way, Hans. Definitely coming out an allergic reaction. I feel like I've got hives. 2 days ago, she bit me when she was coming off. So I'd say to her, like, if she was on and I needed to get the baby on, I'd be like, oh, Renelia, can you just get off a second for Oriavella? She would literally be like, okay, and latch off and then latch on again. And then 2 days ago, she started like biting, and she'd be like, more. And I was like, I can't give you that boob. That boob's your sister. She wanted the fuller boob. Baby's waking up. I need to go in a second then, because she'll be awake for me. I swear it's when I sit down. It's when I sit down for 1 second. It's like, let's go, all systems go. So then she was like, more, and I was like, Angel, you've got this one. Like, there is more milk in here, and I know the milk's coming, but she wanted more, because she was so used to like the fastness. But obviously my milk supply is kind of trying to regulate. Tandem feeding has been amazing for me because it hasn't given me engorgement properly, really. I get it like every now and again when Oriavella's probably slept a bit longer and, you know, not fed, but that's very rare because she sort of wakes up every hour to 2 hours in the night. So that's fun and games. But yeah, it's honestly, this time breastfeeding has been so much better, and I put that down to Oriavella not having a tongue tie and feeding way easier, but also Renelia feeding and tandem feeding, because if I even feel like I'm getting like a blocked duct, Renelia's there to like get it out. Like, she is on it, and I can't believe I'm actually saying this. I think she's given it up, because obviously I'm following her lead. If she's given it up, by the way, that's it. Like, she's given up breastfeeding, and I can't believe I'm making a video about tandem feeding and my toddler's given it up. And I feel so proud of my journey, because we went through so much. Like, she had a tongue tie that was undiagnosed for 6 weeks. I was constantly avoiding mastitis. I had blocked ducts. She had a milk, she gave up breastfeeding for 3 days because she had tonsillitis on holiday. She had and I was so engorged, we had to buy this pump abroad. It was horrendous. I was literally expressing into a wine glass because that's all that was at the side of our bed, even though we don't even drink alcohol, but it was worse. We were in a hotel. We've been through so much with breastfeeding, and I feel I do feel really emotional about it. But if she's given it up, that's what she's done. So 2 days ago, she bit me, and I was like, ow, it was so painful. And she cried, and I was like, oh, come here. And she said sorry, and she cuddled me, and I was like, no, it's okay. Like, you just can't bite, mummy. The next day, yesterday, she bit me, and this was like 26 hours ago now, so she's not fed for 26 hours. She bit me. And then this morning, she was like, milk. She actually says milk, like how I said milk when I was younger. She says milk. And then she came on, and then she just bit it. And she was like, ow, wah. She was basically saying, ow, I've hurt you, mummy, and you're going to cry. I didn't cry because I didn't want to show her. And then she was like, milk. And then she tried to go for the other boob, and she was going, more. And then she tried the other boob, and she bit it. And she was like not having any of it. And I was like, ow, that was so painful. And then she bit it one more time, and she dragged off the nipple. And I was like, okay, you're not going to feed anymore, are you? And I now have this like guilt of like, was it because I shouted at her? And now she feels really bad, and now she doesn't know how to feed? Or is it because I know I'm being so pathetic, and I'm so happy if that's our journey finished? But also, like, I feel so bad that our last time that we fed was that I sort of said, ow, you can't bite, mummy. And now I'm like blaming myself, and I know I beat myself up so much, and it's so annoying. But I'm going, Hans, I'm going. Right, baby girl's just currently asleep. She's been asleep on me most of the day. We went to the osteo this morning. I'm just having these, they're amazing. Tortilla chips, cheese flavour, gluten-free, vegan, high in fibre. And then some red pepper hummus, yum. We went to the osteo this morning about Oriavella's tension. Osteo, love her so much. And she did another session on her. She's going to need another session on her. Just from where she was, and that's why I'm finding it hard to latch on the right. But sometimes, lately, it's been like 7 out of 10 times it's been amazing, and then the 3 out of 10 times it's been a bit sore. but I just unlatch her and then find another latch again. Sian pointed out, if Renalee had given me trauma on my boob, I then couldn't feed Oriavella, and she needs the milk at the moment, so this is unreal, baby. I'm gonna get on with them doing the stuff in a minute. Try one of these, Angel.
What was I say to you? Oh,
Red pepper hummus, so good.
no. Oh, they're cheesy crisp, aren't they?
They're cheesy, but they're not even cheesy, they're vegan. What have they got to make them cheesy? Vegan cheese flavour aroma. Vegan cheese flavour aroma. And I've got some probiotics for Oriavella, or it just needs to really mature. So probiotics really helps us with Renalia. I'm going to keep going to the osteo. And so far, I mean, yeah, the last 3 nights she was literally up like every hour. It was hell. It was really hard. But last night she gave me 4 hours sleep. And then she was up for 2 hours feeding. But I got a good 4-hour chunk, which made me feel so revitalised. Like I haven't had to nap today. I've been reading Renalia's birthday cards and they've set me off again. So just ignore me, and I'm eating. So I've probably got food in my mouth. But we actually gave Renalia a bottle. Renalia? Oriavella. We actually gave Oriavella a bottle the other day. She took like 5 ml of it. I've got a stash now of express milk in the freezer. I'm going to express again later, and we'll do a feed tonight so that Spencer can have another go with the bottle. I tried the Dr. Brown's one. I don't think the flow was fast enough. We're going to try the MAM ones today, but we're doing the paste bottle feeding, but we didn't fill the teat up enough. That was actually my fault. Spencer said that we need to fill the teat completely with milk and then hold it flat, because then it can trap wind. Also, someone said to us, feed her a little bit before and then give her the bottle, so she's not really, really hungry, and then she doesn't get really like, because during the feed, she was like, I just want the boob, just give me the boob. So it's positive though. She took the bottle, she can latch onto the bottle. So stay tuned for the journey of the bottle feeding. It's going to be my express milk. I'm hoping to just do 1 feed a day. It's just the fact that we will be able to do it. So if Spencer can feed her in, you know, one of the feeds in the night, it will really help me have a break and have a bit more of a chunk of a sleep so that I can then do the morning with Renalia. It just means that we're going to be able to split our time and share our time more equally. So yes. And expressing was amazing. I really enjoyed it. I have used the Medela and I've used the LV, and both have been amazing. So I will keep you updated on that. I will show you all of the pumping stuff. So angels, let me just quickly tell you this before I completely sign off. Make sure, well, don't make sure, but if you want to go and check out HelloFresh, it's linked in my description. You can use my discount code Imogen60HF. It gets you 60% off your first box and 25% off your next 8. So yeah, go and try it. It's amazing. I really love HelloFresh. Yeah, okay. Bye. Love you.